All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the exciting topic that we're going to talk about, the traffic strategies for your site, how to get people to actually come to your home base. So this is an interesting topic. Matt and I are very opinionated about this topic and which strategies to use, especially for you as a beginner. And so the first ones that we're going to talk about, the first three are the first two are some quick and easy traffic strategies to get the ball rolling. And Matt, there's a lot of talk about SEO. I think that's probably maybe a fear of people getting started with traffic. Do I have to learn SEO? It doesn't even sound like a sexy word, search engine optimization. It sounds challenging and difficult. But I think we should preface this whole entire module by explaining our stance on SEO and how we personally use it and how we recommend everybody that's watching use SEO. So I'd first like to hear your opinion on how you use SEO in your business.
Yeah, well, I really don't put a whole lot of focus into SEO for the most part. I do some things to set up my blog posts so that they have the best chance of hitting the search engines, but I don't put a bunch of focus into doing all the backlinking and hiring SEO services or any of that kind of stuff. I kind of do some on-page SEO type stuff, which we did talk about in previous modules. But other than that, I mean, I don't put a ton of focus into SEO. It's not something I prioritize. I think there's much easier traffic methods, faster traffic methods. And one thing I don't like how Google changes their algorithm every couple months. You can do some stuff that's the standard in the industry for getting your site ranked, and 2 weeks later Google could go and change the rules and your stuff can disappear. If you're building a business, if you're building something that's going to be your income stream, do you really want to be relying on what Google's rules are, or do you want to pull traffic into your own hands? Do you want to have the ability to send traffic without having to rely on another business to handle it for you? So that's kind of how I feel about SEO. I will do some things to help set it up, but I'm not gonna put all my eggs in that basket. I'm not gonna put a ton of focus on it. I'm not gonna spend a huge majority of my time putting a lot of effort into SEO. And what I've found, quite honestly, is the less I focus on SEO and the more I focus on putting great content on my blog, the better I tend to do with SEO. And that's something that I've heard from a lot of big marketers, is that you just focus on putting out really good quality content, and the SEO, the search engine stuff, kind of takes care of itself.
Yeah, what you're saying makes sense. When I was building my blog, I really had no idea about SEO. I kind of would guess. So, like you have the Yoast SEO plugin where it will help you kind of guide through, keywords. But really, you have to do keyword research based on what each individual article that you have in order to rank it, to know what keywords that you're going after. So, you see on our screen 10 things I wish I knew about when I started blogging. Are people actually searching that? It may be a different term that people are searching for. Anyways, I noticed what you said, Matt. Changes happened with the penguin panda, the whole zoo of changes that happens with Google, and I noticed I dropped a little bit in the search engine rankings. I don't know why, but I was ranking #1 for a couple terms. So I agree with you. I think the social aspect of it takes a big part. I don't know how much it's weighted in the SEO formula now, but for the fact that you're getting likes, tweets, G pluses, comments on your blog, I think Google takes notice of these things, and these help more so the social aspect, the viral aspect of your blog in getting shared versus trying to get found in the search engines and competing on that point. So I agree with you. I think it's better to start off leveraging what you already have. And what we're about to talk about now is how to tap into those assets of the network that you've already created. And if you don't have a network, we're just going to show you two really quick strategies that you can use to start building that network.
Could I say something real quick too? I just want
Yeah,
to I want to be upfront and very transparent right now and say that right now our biggest traffic for learntoblog.com, where all of our traffic is coming from, we've got a big mailing list which we can send traffic to this site whenever we want because we've got this giant mailing list. And we can send traffic through Facebook because we've built up a giant Facebook fan page. Now, saying those things, obviously, a lot of the people watching this don't have those traffic sources yet. But we didn't start with those traffic sources. We didn't just one day wake up and be like, okay, I've got a big mailing list. I can send traffic now. We had to build those assets up. We had to build up the mailing list. We had to build up the Facebook page. And now we can use those to send traffic to our page, so we can focus a little bit less on some of these beginner strategies, and we have those assets to send traffic to. But you do need to build up to that. You need to get to that point. And I just want to be completely transparent, because there's going to be people watching this video saying, but you've got this mailing list, you've got this Facebook fan page, you can send traffic using those. Well, we're going to show you how to get to where we're at with those assets.
yeah, and that's where you want to be. If you could send traffic once you've captured all these people that are coming to your site, you have your email address, then it's easy to get people back, because you come out with a new blockbuster article that is going to get a ton of shares. Not only are you going to reach the current audience that you have, but then those people are going to share it, and then their friends are going to share it. And so, as Matt said, let's go back to the basics. You got to focus on creating that great content that is going to be, spread around and passed around. That's going to make you look like that expert.
Mm-hmm.
So if you already have a list, you're starting from a leg up. If you already have an email list, if you already have contacts in your Gmail for your business or your niche, you're starting with a leg up. Facebook fan page, Twitter followers, essentially just a network. For me, I had a business prior to this in the real estate industry, and so a lot of the content I was creating, I would send out to a lot of my contacts, send it out through Facebook. I would leverage my current network. But for those of you who don't have a network, here's a great place to start and start building yourself up as that expert. And the first strategy is forum marketing. Matt, we have a couple sites here, but can you give an overview quickly on what forum marketing really is?
Sure. Well, forum marketing, in my opinion, is probably the most underrated traffic strategy there is. You don't hear about a lot of people talking about it. When you take traffic courses, I don't know how much detail they go into on forum marketing, but I can tell you right now that when I first started my business, when I first started the WordPress classroom, when I first started my initial blog at Business and Blogs, I got most of my traffic. 90% of the traffic that went to those sites came from forum marketing. It was what kickstarted the traffic to my blogs. And basically what forum marketing is, it's where you go to a forum in your niche that's very relevant, where people are talking, where the people that you want to follow your website are already hanging out. You're going and finding those places where people are already hanging out, and you're going in and looking for questions that they're asking, and you're getting in there and you're being the expert. You're answering those questions for people. Now, most forums give you the option to put a signature down below your posts, and in that signature you link back to your site. So if people find your posts helpful, then they can click on your link, go back to your site, learn more about you, get more information from you. So you're just going into forums and you're being very, very helpful. And what this site is that Bradley's got on the screen here is called Omjili. I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced. I've never heard anybody pronounce it, but I think it's Omjili. And what this is it's actually a search engine for forums. So if you don't know what the big forum in your niche is, you can use this site to find conversations going on in forums.
Here's one. I don't know what the site is, but it looks like there's some conversation in the actual post. But one of the most popular forums in our industry, Matt, is obviously the Warrior Forum.
Right.
And say in our industry, if you're in internet marketing, anything online marketing, this could be a great place to start understanding on how forums work.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, let's click around. Let's take a look at a signature that's done well. So right off the bat, you clicked into something here, and you can see these forum posts, and you can see this little line here where the post ends and then there's kind of some bold text and some links down here below it, that's that person's forum signature. You can see they're linking out to their website. And this is obviously a forum full of marketers, so most of these guys, they get it. You know, they understand they've got to be, they're in this forum not only to help people but to be marketing themselves as well. But these are examples of people doing forum marketing. They're getting in there, they're answering people's questions, they're responding to people's questions, and if the people are satisfied with their response, chances are they're going to click on one of the links in their forum signature and find out more about the person that just answered it for them. And literally, when I first started my business, when I first started my online business, this was the only strategy I used. I was just in every forum I can find because I knew a lot about WordPress. I'd been blogging for a long time before I ever started to sell the service of teaching blogging. And so I was in these forums just helping. And initially I never had the intention of selling courses on blogging or WordPress or anything like that. I just wanted to get in there and help people. And when I did release a course, my name was known. People had recognized me from helping them out so much. And I started getting links back to my site. I started getting traffic back to my site.
Yeah, you're really what you're doing is you're positioning yourself as the expert, in that whatever industry. If you're helping answer topic or helping, finding answers or helping the newbies, just look at this guy, Jason. I don't know who this is, but it shows stats. So he's posted over 3,000 times, thanked 1,300 times, and he's just a participant of the forum. You can see here. He's got his forum signature. I'm sure people click on this in here. You could probably track that through like a short link. He's sending people to his website, as you can see down in the bottom left corner. Let's just click on it. Let's just entertain this. And he's sending them right to a lead capture page. Mm-hmm. So what's wrong with selling today? So apparently he's helping with people with sales, and that's his nickname, Mr. Sales on Fire. And he's got a social network. All that detail over here. So really, it's a way to position yourself and join, networking. Like if you go to local networking events, you're like literally throwing yourself into the mix of this virtual congregation of people, and these are the types of people that are probably going to go back and visit your site. Mm-hmm. I mean, aren't you curious? Like I'm a curious cat. I might be different than you. I love clicking on every little thing. Like I like to go to people's Facebook profiles, see what this guy's all about. This is his fan page, see if any of my friends like it, see if we have any friends in common, so forth and so on. So that's forum marketing, Matt. Any other tips that you have with forum marketing? Because this kind of transitions really into our next strategy, which is also blog marketing.
Yeah, I mean, the only tips I really have for this is just find the community that's relevant to what you're teaching. If you're in gardening, find a gardening forum and just get involved. And you don't have to only answer questions. You can start conversations too. You can ask ask questions that get conversations started. There is something to be said for the people that are in there getting these conversations going. People pay attention to those people too because they're kind of thought leaders by asking the questions. So just get in there, be active, make sure you've got your blog set up so you can link back to it, and just be as active as possible in these communities. And same goes for blog marketing. A very, very similar concept with blog marketing, where you're going and finding other blogs within your niche. And when you find these blogs within your niche, you're reading the posts and you're leaving very helpful, very relevant comments. Not the great post, thanks for sharing type BS comments. You're leaving solid quality comments that actually add to the conversation or ask a question of the writer or somehow add some value to the existing post. That's essentially what you're doing with the blog commenting. Let's jump over
here's an example.
Okay, cool. So on QuickSprout, you can see all these people that are leaving comments. And if you hover over somebody's name, you can see that those are people's links back to their website.
So if you look down here on the hover in the bottom left corner, down there, it shows the site. So we'll open it up and see. Hopefully this is okay. Hopefully we're gonna get like a crazy surprise. But yeah, this is somebody linking back to their website. And you have the option to put the link in there, and what you're going to see here is if this is a popular site, and a lot of people read this site, which obviously they do, there's a lot of people that are going to see your, conversation. See, this is one that stands out right here by Paul leaving a detailed comment. It would be great, like, those kinds of things stand out to me, and it's great for you to be a part of the conversation, because these are really just communities, is really what they are. Blogs are like evolving into these mini communities, like these mini Facebooks where people hang out.
Yeah.
And you see Facebook comments a lot of the times they replace blog comments, but it's really just interacting. And I wish there was really more of like a formula we can give them at, like, hey, you have to post 5 times, every, X amount of hours, and you're going to get X amount of money. There's really no formula. It's networking, right? It's like there's
joining
no
the conversation. It's repetitiveness. It's getting people used to seeing your name everywhere is what it is. You get people used to seeing your name. You get the people that are in these forums, the thought leaders in these forums, the thought leaders on these blogs used to seeing your name. You get the people that are commenting on here that are visiting these blogs and forums every day, seeing your name. It's a repetitive thing where people are seeing you over and over and over again, and then they start to think, okay, this guy is an authority, a thought leader on this particular subject. Do you want to scroll down, show them exactly how to leave a comment? Just a real quick example of how to leave a comment. So obviously you just leave your name, plug in your email address, and then where it has the website, that's where you'd plug in the URL back to your blog. And then of course in the post comment area, you just leave a super relevant comment. Now, when I first started doing this stuff, like I said, forum marketing and blog marketing was my main focuses. And I literally did have a formula that I followed, in the sense that every single day I did at least 10 blog comments, and I would post in 2 different forums. And I had it on my task list for the day. If you're going back to productivity strategies and you have a task list, I had it on my task list every single day, 5 days out of the week. I'm going to go comment on 10 different blogs today, and I'm going to leave at least 2 replies in 2 different forums. Every single day I did that for probably the first 2 years that I was doing this stuff.
You're crazy.
And it just built up over time, and it helped me build the credibility that I've managed to build.
That's a really good point. Like, that's the strategy. Like, you have to determine on what it's worth to you. And I personally, I like going to local networking events. I like meeting people, and I use the same strategy, no matter what. Like, I'll have it on my business card, my blog URL, and I'm doing the same thing, and people are naturally curious. It's funny, you'll see, like, I was speaking at an event the other day, and they promoted our Learn to Blog site, and somebody came in, read the blog, and after the event, and they bought one of the products. And it's just amazing on how the networking and meeting and connecting with people, that how it comes back to you. And exactly as Matt says, it's just like your posting routine. It's if you're gonna post X amount of blogs per week or per month, and you're staying consistent with it, do the same thing with this strategy. If you're going to comment on other blogs and do forum marketing and networking online, use the same strategy, incorporate it into your day as your routine. Just pick a number and roll with it, and just be active and see what kind of time commitment and what kind of return you're getting from that.
And I think people will be actually pretty shocked to see how much traffic you can actually get by just doing nothing but forum and blog marketing. I think it's actually, I think people don't put much weight on this traffic strategy because it's not that sexy. It's not some ninja trick, It's just kind of hammering it out, and just it's work. It's sometimes it can be monotonous, but I think people would be shocked. I mean, after maybe a week of just doing 2 forum posts a day and 5 blog comments a day, you do that for a week, guarantee you go check your Google Analytics, you'll see traffic coming from those forums and those blogs, guaranteed. And it doesn't take that much. Next thing you know, you're getting 10 visitors a day. 2 weeks later, you're getting 40 visitors a day, and it starts to add, and you start looking at where the traffic's coming from in your Google Analytics, and next thing you know, you've got 40 different blogs that are all sending you 1 or 2 visitors a day. Next thing you know, you got 100 visitors going to your site because all these blogs are sending you 1 or 2 visitors a day.
Yes, exactly. So be active in the comments, and that stuff that stays there. So if you're interacting in big communities, you're leveraging their traffic.
Mm-hmm.
Now there is some little like detail strategies, right? Like you can look at, and this is like becomes less relevant for SEO purposes. There's I think if you Google it, like no follow commenting on blogs, you look if the blog allows like into their page source, view page source, right click on it, and let's just do a search for no follow. Matt, can you explain what the no follow means?
Well, the no follow just means that as far as the search engine's eyes go, this isn't sending any link juice back to your blog. So although you're getting a link out to your blog and people visiting the blog can see your link, click on it, and go to it, search engines like Google are not going to are not going to consider that a backlink to your site for SEO purposes. So you're not really getting much SEO benefit from commenting on a site that has no follow comments, but you are still getting the benefit of the readers of that blog seeing those links and getting to click on them and go back to your site.
Okay, so what you can do is if you're like sending them directly to your homepage, you could also, back to my point is it's becoming less relevant because people use things like Facebook comments, and you're really just trying to, you can apply this strategy to everywhere. You can go to your, fan page. Let's just look at this guy's fan page. You can go find other communities, like in the like section of fan pages, you could see the other fan pages that they like and discover new places that way. Or, for example, you can go to blogs like Neil's here, and you can find, sometimes they have a blog roll of other sites that they recommend, or maybe they have a page with other sites or their friends' sites. And what you could do is what we like to call raid other people's blog rolls and find other communities to participate in. But you're not going to get SEO juice back to your site if you're leaving Facebook comments, because it just doesn't work that way. But in the comment section when you're leaving your link, you can leave a link directly to your blog, or you could even leave a link directly to we have a offer page at learntoblog.com/free. And if you could leave this back to your whatever your squeeze page is, that might work a little bit better in the forum marketing. Mm-hmm. Would you agree, Matt? If you were sending them like a special offer like this, because like it's your expertise. I think in blog comment marketing, it might make more sense to just leave a link to your site so people can find more about you, investigate. Maybe click on a bunch of your blog posts.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I would say that's the way to go. Forum marketing, try to get them towards some sort of squeeze page. And a lot of times you can see they'll let you leave multiple links and signatures. leave one to a squeeze page, one to your blog. And then on the actual blogs, when you comment on blogs, just link back to your blog, because when people click over, they're going to want to see some content.
Okay, so why don't we sum it all up, the forum and blog marketing strategy, before we move on to some quick comments on SEO. Number one, if you're going to use this strategy, you're first look at who's already in your network and see if you can leverage these people that are already in your network. So if you want to get traffic to your site and you have a small email list, start by emailing them. Or if you have some Gmail contacts, or you have contacts spread around a bunch of different email accounts, you can import them into your Gmail account and mail up to 500 people there. Just make sure you do a blind CC so everybody's not seeing in everybody's email addresses. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to use the blog comment or forum marketing, Matt, what's the summary of how to use this strategy?
The summary would be to be as helpful as possible. Join the community, answer questions, add only content that adds to the conversation. Never, ever, ever go and leave comments that say nice post and that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff is just going to get glazed over. It's not going to catch people's attention. You're not going to get links clicked back to your site. You want to be helpful. You want to add to the conversation. You want to answer people's questions, and you want to leave a link back to your site. on both cases, forum and blog marketing. Just join the conversation, be helpful, and it's a repetitive thing. It's something that you do over and over again. Maybe you don't see the results within the first few days, but after a couple of weeks, you start to see traffic from this. So hang in there with
Matt,
it.
I think one person that we know who is actually an instructor for our course is a part of our, our one of our trainers is Sean Vossler. The guy is everywhere on Facebook. He's constantly interacting with people, just Facebook groups. He's helping answer people's questions. And there was this point where he really started to get some traction and get some big name clients, some of the top internet marketers in the world as his clients, because he established himself as an expert. He continued to learn. He was everywhere. People would see him everywhere. And you even used the example of a billionaire, responded to one of his comments on Facebook, and he's interacting with a guy who owns a professional basketball team here in the United States. So this can not only be used in forum marketing and blog marketing. Think of it as a bigger picture of just networking. In the different places you can network online. So the forums, the blogs, Facebook fan pages, great. Subscribe to other people on Facebook that you want to interact with. Also, Facebook groups. There's some amazing Facebook groups that you can be a part of, and people, like for example, if you're going to leave comments on Facebook, make sure you put a fan page on there that you work for. For example, this guy here that we looked at from Jason Canagan. If I were going to be commenting on people's, in groups and different things, I would want to say, I'm as my employer for my personal profile. If I'm commenting as my personal profile, I work for Sales on Fire, because then people will click back to your fan page, and then your fan page, you could put a link right here in your About section, so that they can go back to your website. And that's the whole goal, is to get these people back to your website. That's a cool looking site there. Look at that, fancy. So Facebook groups, you can even go as far as Twitter and commenting on YouTube videos. Just be everywhere. The point is, be everywhere, and if you're going to do it, be consistent. Try to find a routine with it that works for you, and schedule it into your productive daily routine. And when you do that, little by little, as Matt says, incrementally, you're going to get people coming back to your site, and it's going to kind of grow a little bit more exponentially every day, and these people are going to all be linking back to your site. Matt, any last comments you want to add on this?
I think you pretty much covered it. Yeah, I mean, it's all about just getting to be a part of the community, getting name recognition, building up the credibility by just being all over the place. Just get your name out there all over blogs, social media, forums. Just get people used to seeing your name as a helpful face. They're seeing your name and avatar as the person that they could go to for answers to their questions in your niche.
Yes, definitely. And you can start by going to learntoblog.com and commenting on our blog posts.
There you go.
All right, we're going to go ahead and see you in the next video, which we're going to start talking about SEO.
Cool. See you there.